Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. For this is the day that Yah has made. And we praise him by saying hallelujah. Hallelujah. And we're happy to be in the house today. For I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of Yah. Let's bless our King before we pray. Barku et Yahweh. Barku et Yahweh hamevarak. Baruch atah Yahweh hamevarak le alam vayet. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher Bikar Banu Makol Hamayim Natan Lanu HaTorah. Baruch atah Yahweh Notan HaTorah. That is to say, blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh the Blessed One. Blessed are you, Yahweh the Blessed One, for all eternity. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Elohim, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us your Torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, giver of the Torah, to the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Israel, our King, our provider, our healer, our sustainer, our deliverer, our Savior, our rock. Do we come to you today, Master, once again on this set-apart day, that you said that we shall have a solemn assembly with bowed head and humble hearts, O King, asking you to forgive us of our sins. Cleanse us of unrighteousness, Master, that our prayers be not hindered this morning. Hear when we call unto you, O King, and turn not a deaf ear to our cries, but lend ear, Master, to our supplications. Let not our words fall to the ground, but Master, but let them pierce thy ears. And let the words of my mouth and the meditation of all of our collective hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O King. For we are thy people and the sheep of thy pasture. For we listen to thy word, Master, and we have come together on this day that you have commanded us to do and have a solemn assembly, Master. So we gather in thy name. We gather out of obedience, out of love, and out of fear for you. And we thank you, O King, for all things. We thank you, Master, for this life that you have given us, health in our bodies. We thank you for food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And Master, we thank you for showing us your truth and taking us out of idolatry and setting us on the straight path, on the upright path, and showing us your Torah, O King. And we ask that you would continue to enlighten us, Master, that we may grow in you. We ask that you would continue to forgive us, O King, and that you would continue to shower us with your mercies, Master, as you do daily, and that when you think upon this people, your people all around the world, and those here at First Tabernacle Fellowship, Master, that when you think upon us, that it would bring gladness to thy heart, O King, and that it would bring a smile to thy face, and that you would look upon us and show us favor, Master, and that you would continue to show us mercies, O King. We thank you for all that are gathered together today, who are assembled in your name, and the families that are represented here in this house. Continue, Master, to bless this leadership, O King, and that they will continue to grow in you, that they may teach us. We thank you, Master, for keeping our children, that they have traversed throughout this land all week long, but you have brought them home to us safely, O King. And we gather, Master, for you say, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in your Torah, and in your Torah doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in his season. Neither shall his leaf wither, Master. And we ask that you, Master, would continue to remember us and Zakar, O King, for you said that you was going to sift Israel in that great day, Master, and not one seed shall fall to the ground, not one grain, Master. So we ask that you would remember us and let us be counted worthy amongst the grain. For you said that the chaff shall be driven away with the wind, Master, and let not our endeavors and our works fall by the wayside, O King. And we ask that you would continue to keep us and heal us, Master, until we can meet here again. This is our prayer. Amen.
Shalom to everybody. It is always so good to be here in this place that the Most High has provided for us to gather, to worship and to learn of the greatness of his divine word. For helium, Psalms 57. For the leader, set do not destroy, by David Maktam when he fled from Shaul into the cave. Show me favor, El. Show me favor, for in you I have taken refuge. Yes, I will find refuge in the shadow of your wings until the storms have passed. I called on Yah, the Most High, to El, who is accomplishing his purpose for me. He will send from heaven and save me when those who would trample me down mock me. Selah. El will send his grace and his truth. I am surrounded by lions. I am lying down among people breathing fire, men whose teeth are spears and arrows and their tongues sharp swords. Be exalted, El, above heaven. May your glory be over all the earth. They prepared a snare for my feet, but I am bending over to avoid it. They dug a pit ahead of me, but they fell into it themselves. Selah. My heart is steadfast, El, steadfast. I will sing and make music. Awake, my glory, awake, lyre and lute. I will awaken the dawn. I will thank you, Yahweh, among the peoples. I will make music to you among the nations, for your grace is great, all the way to the heaven, and your truth all the way to the skies. Be exalted, El, above heaven. May your glory be over all the earth. Amen. You may be seated. Wow. Wow. They dug a pit for me, and it's like the it's like those gangster movies. Take you out to the ground and give you a shovel, and then sometimes it gets twisted, and you fall into the pit you dug for somebody else, or you wind up in one. But we are so gracious that when you look at yourself, the Most High is accomplishing his purpose in you. The purpose of Hebrew Israel is that we would be a light. We'd shine bright. Our light is in the way that we walk, the way we talk, and the way we carry ourselves among the peoples. The Most High's words to Hebrew Israel in his chastising them says that you have blasphemed my name among the nations. How'd you do that? You acted in a way that doesn't represent my name. You forgot that I put my name on you. And in putting my name on you, you have forgotten, as you have traversed, you've forgotten who you represent. Let us never forget who we represent. Whether it's at work, in the grocery store, whether it's with our neighbors, whether it's in any kind of conflict that we're confronted with. We have the right to be angry, but don't break the mitzvot that the Most High has given us in doing so, so that the light of wisdom and the light of understanding was shown bright from us. They will know that there is something that's different in their presence. In King David's situation, he always had someone who was trying to incite him to anger and incite him to do something outside the parameters of his kingship. But if we study him closely, we'll recognize that in all of his situations, his appeal was to the Most High. I know you've given me this strength. Oh, I know how to go to war. I got some real good dudes back there that'll go with me. But just because I have all this doesn't mean that I need to act. So let me inquire of you how I should proceed. I could go get this dude. Not only could I go get him, he don't know how close I was to him when he was asleep. I could have taken his life. I really don't have to go through all this. But Most High, you appointed him to be king. So as long as you have appointed him to be king, I'm not going to do your servant any harm. I could, because he been messing with me. He been out to try to kill me. You know, you ever think about that? You ever get this? And you wanna get revenge. Grit your teeth. Now that we're Hebraic, there's a time clock that ticks in our mind that says tick, 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 ding, ding, ding. No. Be still. Be still and know who I am. In many of the situations that we're confronted with, we come to really understand the true meaning of the battle is not yours. It's not my battle. It looks like it's my battle, feels like it's my battle, but it's not my battle. There is a season of a time of testing you to see where you are. Because sometimes we think we're pretty good. I'm pretty good, shucks. And the Most High says, it allows something to come your way to see whether or not you can handle it or not within the purview or the understanding of where you are in walking with him. Have you learned yet to hold your peace? Have you learned yet to find words that can heal as opposed to words that will destroy? Have we learned that yet? I was thinking this morning as I was waking up, I started this journey of being a leader of the Father's people in 1994. I stepped onto this road, this highway, and this highway, you know, Route 66, I think, connects the west with the east. If you get on it, you drive it, there's going to be some times when you're going to have to take a rest stop along the way. They call it a rest stop. It's more than a rest stop. That rest stop involves taking care of relieving the waste matter that you cannot any longer carry on that journey. Depending on how long the journey is, you're going to have certain rest stops along the way. I've had a number of rest stops along the way since taking this task. It's caused me to empty things along the way as I've progressed, things that I don't need to carry in my body or in my mind. They resurface as the journey goes along, and you have to take another rest stop. We took a rest stop, Sean, in 2007, and the road began to get a little clearer. Back in the day, when you took a trip, you had a map. And if you were so disposed to go to AAA, AAA would map out on this map your journey and everywhere that you needed to stop along the way. The Most High has given us this roadmap. We didn't know what the roadmap was. So consequently, if you're traveling along the way and you don't have a map, you would stop at these rest stops, not only to relieve the unneeded matter, but also to get a question about which way do I need to go. And the person at the gas station would tell you, well, go up about 2 miles, turn left, find highway so-and-so, make a right turn, get on that, and you'll be just fine. Then along came this thing called GPS. In my analogy here, we've been asking questions because we weren't connected into the GPS system yet. We're still asking questions along the way. Well, what about this? Well, you need to you need to do this dance like we do. Another rest stop. We don't need to do your dance that you do for bar mitzvahs and weddings and the same dance, and you bring the congregation. It's the same loop-de-loop and the same. So we don't need to do that. Another rest stop. Question. Well, now you need to learn Hebrew. You need to know it. You don't read it. You need to know it. Okay, we'll do that. Little rest stop. Again, this is just something that maybe I need to keep and savor a little bit of this. I don't need to just get rid of it all. Another rest stop along the way. So we've had many rest stops along the way, and we've asked a lot of questions along the way. Then spiritual GPS showed up. the Most High says, you have in your hand my GPS system. It's called my divine word. And if you'll just tune in, dial into my divine word, I'll help you finish the journey, and you won't have to ask nobody along the way which way to go. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you GPS 2.1. I'm going to give you a sidekick that can help you continue with this journey of where you're going, that's going to open up some more pages and some more understanding so that you, Robert, can understand, and in your understanding, you can help those that are traveling with you to have a safe journey. So on every Shabbat, we can tell you to buckle up. We're going to about 40,000 feet. And the one that's flying the plane understands mechanics of how to handle this. So now you, Kohen, Moore, and Robert, you can go back and you can have your seat, buckle up, and ride comfortably as Moray Sean Appleton guides us today in today's Sabbath teaching.
That's what you call slick. You see how smooth that was? Your Moray came up here, decked out from head to toe, gated and tailored, suited and booted. He came up here talking about now he's getting ready to fly the plane. I was like, how smooth is that? The Most High, the beneficent, Eye Ashe Eye, the one that has created all things in 6 days, El Shaddai, Yahweh Sevaot El Elyon, Yahweh Nisi, Yahweh Rapha, Yahweh Yireh. All these things, these names that we have for the Most High speak to the attributes of the Most High. And I thank the Most High for allowing me to be here today with all of you to celebrate this Shabbat, a day that's called, you can go ahead and clap for the Shabbat, a day set aside that the Most High has said his people are to assemble, like the Avengers assemble. We are here today, and I thank the Most High in being humble and being a vessel today. I'm just like you, trying to hear what the Most High is going to have to say today. I just happen to be on stage with a microphone. So, to that one that's created all things, I thank the Most High for allowing me to be here today. For all of you that are joining us by way of the stream, that can't be here because of a mitzvot, because you are too far away from a group where it's feasible to you to get to a congregation, or something's going on in your body that won't allow you to be here today. Shabbat shalom to all of you. For all of you that are joining us by way of the stream, that know that you're supposed to congregate and have decided not to, part of being a part of the Most High, and that's interesting. This week I had a conversation with somebody, and we talked about community, how a community is supposed to interact with one another. I'm not asking you to come to FDF, but what I am asking you to do is to observe the Shabbat. You do not have to be here with us, but as long as you are serving the Most High, that's what needs to happen. So if you're at home by yourself, knowing that you should be somewhere, watching me right now, that might be talking to you. Okay, so Shabbat Shalom to all of you that are joining us by way of the stream. Arise, Israel, and let your... Okay. In Vayikra chapter number what? 19, verse what? 32 says that you are to stand in the midst of those who have gray hair, right? Because they have wisdom, right? We respect those who have come before us, our teachers and our guides. So turn to the closest person next to you. They might be behind you, to the side of you, in front of you, back of you, and maybe above you, maybe no. Look them dead in the eye and tell them, Shabbat Shalom. All right. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. To Mora Malka Amina, Shabbat Shalom to you, madam. To More Trey Beverly, Shabbat Shalom to you, sir. To Bruh Charles, Shabbat Shalom to you, sir. More, weighing in at two. What? You the boxer. You the one. You the fighter of the group. 200 pounds. Ready to fight? More, Gerald Beacom, Shabbat Shalom to you, sir. To the leader of this house. Don't he look smooth today? You need to put that back in my closet when you're done. That's 85. It's 85. He said, don't rush me. Hey, you know what? I'm 49. I just say I'm 50. I just say, I'm already there. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. Said, ain't you learned? You don't wish your life away. To the Honorable Robert B. Holman Jr., Shabbat Shalom to you, sir. These are our mores here amongst us. I am so honored to be a part of that group. I consider myself like the least of the group because these folk are knowledgeable beyond, I want to say beyond recognition. But they are the root and bread and butter that holds this leadership together. So I want to acknowledge them. Give them a round of applause. To my studio audience, we are, do you have this? You got this part. We're here. One more again. Just to tell it like it, T.I. is here. I'm going to call on you every single time I get up here now. For you. To all of my Hebrew community here that is with us today on the Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom to all of you, to our in-house studio audience here that's joining and participating in this set-apart time. I want to continue to bring our attention to Yom Teruah. It is our next festival that is coming up. It is the Feast of Trumpets. Right? In this house, we are going to celebrate it on September 12th, just like it says up there on the board. We're going to start it, obviously, at 11:30, but that's when we do all of it. It's on the Shabbat, so you'll already be here, okay? So I just want to continue to draw your attention. It is an appointed time. It's a set-apart time that the Most High has asked for Hebrew Israel to assemble. We are assembling to sound the alarm that we need to be in a state of preparedness for the next 9 days, clean up a lot of things that are going on with us. Here's the thing. To do better, to strive for excellence, re-examining yourself in the mirror of Torah
and saying, what can I do to be better? I'm observing the mitzvot. I want to be prepared because in 10 days or 9 days later, we have the feast of, or the festival of what? Yom Kippur. Okay? These two run together. Okay? So, September 12th, keep that on your radar. If you're coming to Shabbat, you'll already be here. All right? So, that is that. Today, or matter of fact, before I do this, previously on Beyond the Gates of Eretz Israel. Previously on Beyond the Gates. Previously in Bad Midbar's chapter, because we're going to jump into Bad Midbar chapter 9 and 10 today. How many read 9 and 10? Good. So I'm going to introduce it for the first time for some. 9 and 10 is where we're going to be today in our Hebrew study. Now, previously on Beyond the Gates of Hebrew Israel, what did we cover, or what can you tell me we covered in chapters 1 through 8? Anybody? Don't it? We talked about, so they all getting ready, skimming it around, they opening up on the book and just, what did we talk about? So the census is in there. We have 3 censuses that have been taken place. We have the census of the military. We have the census of the firstborn. And then we have the census of all the Levi'im, right? That census is taken. What else do we find out? Chapters 1 through 8. Let me throw you a bone. We learned about the Nazir in chapters 1 through 8. We also learned about how these Levi'im are broken up into their tribes, right? There's 3 of them, the sub-tribes. And when we talk about Levi, we're talking about 3 individual groups. Those individual groups are the tribe of, or clan, let's just call it that, the clan of Gershom, the clan of Merari, and the clan of Kahat. All right. And each have their own tasks within the tent of meeting. We went over all that. We went over how all of the children of Israel are centered around, if this is the tabernacle, the children of Israel, or I should say, I hate using children of Israel, a bunch of adults that are in there. Israel is situated around the tabernacle in a particular fashion. We went over that, right? We said there were 3 tribes on the west side, 3 tribes on the north side, east side, all had 3 tribes. And they were all situated. And they all have a designated way that when Hebrew Israel is to move, there is an order at which all of those tribes move. We went over that. We went over how the Most High sequestered those that were unclean from those that were clean from the camp. We make restitution with our brothers and sisters. The Most High is cleaning up and starting this protocol upon which when we start to move the camp, there is order in doing so. This is not a ragtag group of folk that's just situated anyhow. There is an order. And that's what we're going over. When Hebrew Israel moves, how do they move? That's a question. How do they move? Tell me the steps. What happens first? We're going to learn about one of them today. I'm going to throw this bone to you. Okay, so that shofar has to get blown, or the trumpets have to get blown. We're going to learn about that. The trumpet has to be blown. What happens next? We're getting ready to move. What happens? The Kohanim go in. They have to wrap all of the furniture, the Ark of the Covenant, the incense altar. What else is in there? Table of showbread, all those, the menorah. That has to get wrapped. Once that gets wrapped, then I believe it's the tribe of Gershom will come in. And Gershom will come in and, I know, pull my mic down so you turn me back up. Gershom will come in and start taking down all the tapestry, all the badger hair. They'll remove all of those pieces first. And then after which, we have the tribe of Kahat. They'll come in and they'll take everything up. They'll put it on their shoulders, right? That's how they're supposed to carry it. They put all the furniture on their shoulders, and they're the furniture movers. 2 men in a truck. Whoever, y'all know who that is? 2 men in a truck are coming in now. Take all the furniture out. The last group that has the work of taking down the posts and the beams and the structure is the tribe of Merari. They go in and start breaking that down. Hebrew Israel now is in a position where they are getting ready to start to move. So it would be, if you're looking at a clock, it would be like this. The 6 o'clock goes first. The 9 o'clock goes second. Okay? Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry. That's not true. 3 goes first. 6, then 9. Okay? It has a order upon which it goes out. The last group is headed up by the tribe of, who knows who's in the rear? The rear tribe. Dan. Dan is the rear tribe. Watching our backsides, okay? So, we learned about all that. Anything else in 1 through 8? I just went over it last week. On the day when Moshe erected the tabernacle, when was that? And this, come on, y'all, because I said this 5,000 times last week. What was the day when Moshe erected the tabernacle? On the first day of the first month of the second year. Right. So Moshe erects the tabernacle. First day, first month of the second year. We learned that right after that, on that same day, Moshe does what? Anoints the tabernacle. He builds it, anoints it, and then he collects what we went over last week, which is all of the gifts from Hebrew Israel to the Leviim so they can do their job in the tent of meeting. He receives all that. Okay? Now, when Moshe does all that, we learn about, that's the point I was getting to, is each individual tribe had its own day that they brought their offering, and it led up to what? It led up to Pesach. Okay? We're going to go over it one more time, one more again. Yes, ma'am.
Moray, Sean, we have this information. We're just not fast on the draw.
You said we're not fast on the draw. That's good. That's good. Repetition is good.
Yes, it's the repetition.
Repetition. We repeat. That's why we just don't do these mitzvot, or matter of fact, don't do these moedim once every year, or just once, and then another 10 years we do it down the road. We repeat it and repeat it and repeat it.
Yeah.
Okay? And you know what? Glad you stopped me. I'm just going to ride this wave of the Most High. I'm glad that we're repeating it. How many of us, I know you got this testimony, every time we go through this, we learn something new. Yes. We unearth something that says, you know what, we dug a little bit deeper. The Most High is building on our understanding of where we're at right now, and this is what you can handle about this. When you guys get better at it, I'll open up the door a little bit more. So this whole entire issue, I think I talked about it last time, is this season of doing better, leading up to Yom Teruah. That's what this energy for me is right now. Knowing that that's on its way, knowing that I've got to measure myself against what text says to say, do better. How do I do better? How do I, that energy wasn't there before. So I am in my season, and people say this all the time, I'm in my season of change. I'm in my season of excellence, of trying to do better.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? In the issue of your season of trying to do better, you're receiving better.
Right.
People, when they may even bring you something. Because I'm in my season of doing better, I can receive people bringing me things about being better. If I was in my season of, you know what, I'm just down on my luck or whatever, I'm not in a season of change, Do you think it's easier for you to receive something in your season of change or when your season of stagnation? Even like I'm bringing you the same information. I'm not in a season of receiving and doing better right now. I'm in a season of something else. And you're bringing me the same information. I'm not going to receive it as easy as now I'm going to say, okay, you've seen this in me, or you've seen this particular situation. How do we do better at it? That's what I'm simply saying. That's what Yom Tel Rab means to me. I got off on a rabbit trail.
Thank you, Murray.
Chapters 1 through 8. Those are the types of themes that show up in chapters 1 through 8. Now, in our last set of chapters that we went through, again, on the first day of the first month of the second year that Moshe had left, he built the tabernacle, anointed the tabernacle and all of its furniture, received all the gifts from Hebrew Israel. Over the next 12 days, they're going to bring their individual offering to Moshe for the dedication of the tabernacle. I'm going to give you a slide that shows that. After that period is over, you have what we're getting ready to talk about today, which is Pesach. So we're going to go over that today in Pesach. I think that's a slide up there on the board. So the themes, I'm going to give you the summary. I'm a guy. I tell my wife this all the time. Not that I'm a guy. She knows that. I'm a guy, and I think like a guy. Ladies, I'm going to give you a cheat code. Fellas, I'm looking at y'all. I'm sorry. I'm giving a cheat code away. I'm giving it away. Don't get, okay. Here's a cheat code. Men love the destination. We love the destination. When you talk to us, oh, let me tell you about okay, why are you telling me this? What's the destination? What's the point? You can give me the point first and then give me all of the journey to the point. That's why when I talk to my wife and I go ahead and she asks me about things, she'll ask me, well, what about, I'm telling her, well, you know, this is what happened and this is what happened. Well, what about this when it was, and what about that when I'm saying, okay, I'm trying to get to the destination, but she wants all the detail, right? Give me the detail. Give me all of that stuff that gives me context about what was going on. You may not be looking at it. You may be looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, a point of fact. But people do things for certain reasons. And if you're not giving me the exposition that's behind it, then I really can't understand what's going on. She's going to be wrapped up in the minutia of the journey. I'm going to be wrapped up in the minutia of getting to the destination. Okay? So, the destination. I did all that to say. The destination. We're going to go over the mitzvot for Pesach. Additional ones. Okay? Go to the next slide, Bruh B. Next one. I think I have it in there in order. Go ahead, one more. There you go. So I zoomed in on number 1 for those if you're zooming in on the camera. We're going to go over the mitzvot for Pesach. Its observed time is told to us again here in chapter number 9. That's going to be in 1 through 3. So we're going to go over Pesach one more time. Because what we're going to see in the first year, or the first month of the second year that they came out, the Most High had them observe Pesach. Right? That's the point in the next couple of verses that we'll go over in chapter number 9. The other concept there is the exception for those, or excuse me, let me say this, the exceptions that go with Pesach. So there's the rules for Pesach, the overarching rules, guidelines and mitzvot for Pesach. And then these ones are going to be supplemental ones for certain conditions that happen to people during Pesach or leading up to it. I don't want to call them exceptions. This is the wrong thing. I shouldn't have named it that. It's not really an exception. It's kind of clarification into Pesach should said thing happen. That's what we're going to go over. So in the future, note to self on camera, change that word exception. 4. Matter of fact, that's almost the same, one and the same. 3 and 4, one and the same. And then we're going to end up at the end of chapter number 9 about how the cloud was over the tabernacle by day and was a what? Fire by night. Now tell me something. Bruh B brought this up. Moray Beacon brought this up. He said, you got to be some kind of folk to see that every night and that every day and still mess up. You have the Most High with you. I'm not beating us up so bad nowadays. They had it and still messed up. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to end out chapter number 9 that way. Yes, sir.
You know why they messed up?
Why is that?
They messed up for the same reason that we mess up. When you have something consistently every day for so long, you take it for granted.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And when you take it for granted, it loses its sense of impact or impetus to you. And you lose the significance of the importance of it being there. I'm beginning to understand our people's problem with the Most High. Their actions were carnal, one, but they were also a people that got to the point where they took the Most High for granted.
Yep. 100%.
And when you do that, the significance wanes away, and you lose the significant importance of what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. So the cloud just became, okay, it's a cloud today. Oh, fire, okay, so it's fire today. I mean, it happens every day. So what?
Right, right. So, good point. Great observation. Great observation. So, let's jump right into chapter number 9. Now, again, I want to set the stage for you. First day, first month, second year after they left, Moshe erects the tabernacle. That's in Shemot or Exodus chapter number 40, verse 17 through 18. Moshe erects the tabernacle, anoints everything in there, receives all the gifts for the Levi'im for the work in the tabernacle. Okay? We're moving forward in this manner. Now, you're going to hear me repeat this again. Let's start at the top. Chapter number 9. Eye Ashe Eye spoke to Moshe in the Sinai desert in the what? First month of the second year after they had left the land of Mitzrayim, and said, let the people of Israel observe what? Pesach at its designated time, which is what? On the 14th of this month. So on the first day of the first of the month, Moshe is getting all this stuff. He's also hearing that you need to observe Pesach on the 14th of this same month. I erected the tabernacle on the first day. I have to get the tabernacle ready for Pesach on the 14th day. Okay? On the 14th day of this month, at when? When do we do Pesach? It starts at dusk. Hebraically, how we look at the cycle of a day. Day. Sun is up, hits the horizon. evening. Sun goes down, but I still have light. I can see. Complete darkness is night. Morning, when I have light, but the sun's not up. Daytime is when the sun hits the horizon. That's the period of time. 4 portions of the day. So, when do I do this? At dusk, in the evening, when the sun goes down. I can't see it anymore, but I still have light. That's when I'm going to start it. Okay? Let the people of Israel observe Pesach at the designated time on the 14th of this month at dusk. You are to observe it at its designated time. You are to observe it observe it accordingly to all its regulations and rules. Moshe told the people of Israel to observe Pesach, so they observed Pesach. I missed my 2 slides. Go back to those 2 slides. Okay, there we go. That's what I was talking about. When I showed you last time, on the first day, Moshe set up that tabernacle. 12 days, they're bringing their offerings. Each tribe has their own day. Each tribe is bringing, so the first day we erect, the day after that, Yehuda's up, bringing their offering. The next day, Issachar, so on and so forth. If you put all those dates together, by the time you get over here, you've got 13 days that have exhausted after Moshe erects the tabernacle. The Most High just told you on the first day of the first month, on the 14th day, you are going to observe Pesach. Okay? So hopefully that visual gives you what we're talking about here. There's a timeline in Bad Midbar that I think when we're reading it, you miss it because you're just drilling down on the actual event itself. This kind of gives you some context of what's happening as they're observing these mitzvahs that the Most High has put in place. Okay? 6. Let's go on to verse number 6. Say 4, where we at up there? So let's do one more. I think 6 is on the next. There we go. 6. But there were certain people who had become unclean. Now, in Hebrew Israel, somebody died. My jokes, man, I got to work on my timing with y'all. It's horrible. Somebody dies. We got to do something. We got to do something with this body. The time that I touch the body, now I become unclean. Okay? Now, as an example, there are other things that can make you unclean as well. But here it says, but there were certain people who had become unclean because of someone's corpse, so that they could not observe Pesach on that day. So they came before Moshe and Aharon that day and said to him, we are unclean because of someone's corpse, but why must we be kept from bringing the offering for at the time designated for the people of Israel? I like this passage because they did not make an excuse and said, oh, well, I am unclean. I guess I won't participate. No, they said, oh, I'm unclean. Is there anything that can be done so I can still participate? It's the mindset of those individuals at that time. It's not okay, even how we treat the Shabbat. You know? They didn't make an excuse. They went and said, okay, I have a certain situation. My job makes me work, blah, 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 blah. How do I best do this so I can observe the Shabbat? Seeking counsel that way. So I just don't want you guys to have a perception of these folks like, oh, okay, they just lackadaisical and we touched the body and now we got to get out of it somehow. No, it's, oh, we touched the body. How do we stay in compliance with the mitzvot, okay? in 8, Moshe answered him, wait. So, and this is a beautiful part too. And I should have stopped it after I read this. Now, with that set up, Moshe answered them, wait, so that I can hear what Yahwehs Exiled will order concerning you. Listen, I don't, and this is for all, I learned this from my head Moray, because he is receipt heavy. Okay, I don't know what the answer is. Let's go see what text says. Okay? Why am I leaning with a proverb to my own understanding? If it's between Moray, matter of fact, Judy and Moray had brought me something that I was dead wrong on. And I said, you know what? I got a position and you got a position. You know what we did? What does the Most High say? There's your side, there's my side, and then there's the truth. So I'm on the side of truth. Okay, all right. They brought this before, Moshe brought it before Yahwehs Exiled to see what Yahwehs Exiled would say. Let's see what the Most High says. Yahwehs Exiled said to Moshe, tell the people of Israel, if any of you now or in the future generations is unclean because of a corpse, or if he is on a trip abroad, nevertheless, he is to observe Pesach. You have to observe it. But he will observe it in the second month on the 14th day at dusk. You are going to do the same thing. You're just not going to do it with us on the 14th day of the first month. You're going to do yours on the second month on the 14th. You're going to have your abridged Pesach. I know I got my professora there. When it's time, you got your office hours where you have to have somebody come in and do maybe some extra credit. Okay? You weren't here because you were on a vacation into the Poconos, and now you come back off your vacation, you can come in here and take the test. Okay? Think of it that way. All right? This is how they're going to participate. They are to eat it with matzah and mayor. They are to leave none of it until morning, and they are not to break any of its bones. They are to observe it according to all the regulations of Pesach. They have to do the same thing the first wave did. But this person who is clean is not on a trip, who fails. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. But the person who is clean and not on a trip, who fails to observe Pesach, will be cut off from his people. You're not one of us no more. Peace be on it to you. You may be from the tribe of whatever, but now you are not part of Hebrew Israel. We will treat you like a foreigner at this particular point. Because he did not bring the offering for Yahwehs Exiled at its designated time, this person will bear the consequences of his sin. If a foreigner is staying with you and wants to observe Pesach for Yahwehs Exiled, he is to do it. That's interesting. This is probably a discussion for the Morays after this. It says, if a foreigner is staying with you and wants to, is this, the question on the table would be, if a foreigner is staying with you and they don't want to, do you have to force them to? This says that they're willing to do it. And according to the regulations and rules of Pesach, you are to have the same law for the foreigner as the citizen of the land. On the day, here we go again. Y'all gonna get sick of this. This is gonna be coming out your ears. On the day the tabernacle was put up, when was that?
First day, first month, second year.
This second year, there we go. The cloud covered. It says, on the day the tabernacle was put up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, that is, the tent of testimony. And in the evening, over the tabernacle was what appeared to be fire, which remained until morning. Matter of fact, I don't want to go too fast because we get into another issue when we get into this piece. Are we all clear? Second month, 14th day, if there's an issue of you being unclean where you can't observe Pesach, you still have to do it, right? Okay. Those are those mitzvot for there. Okay. Now we get into this cloud by day, fire by night portion.
Moray.
Yes,
The only
sir.
question would be, since the celebration of Pesach is a communal issue, doing it on your own, we'd have to establish what that protocol is. I mean, it's the same eating procedure. You know, you roast it, blah, 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 and eat it on. But what you go through, the liturgy, I mean, there is not necessarily a liturgy other than the liturgy of remembering.
Correct.
So I think doing it in the second month by yourself, what liturgy are you going to follow? We're going to have to set something up for that, or.
Yeah, and I agree. Now that we're encapsulating the whole entire scope of Pesach,
Right.
we now as a Moray team need to come together and get that squared away to how we deal with that particular portion for one that can't.
Right.
And the reasoning behind why that ended up happening. So, okay, yes, good observation. Okay, 15. On the first day, the tabernacle was put up. The cloud covered the tabernacle. That is the tent of testimony. And in the evening, over the tabernacle was what appeared to be fire, which remained until morning. 16. So the cloud always covered it, and it looked like fire at night. Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tent, the people of Israel continued their travels, and they camped wherever the cloud stopped. Do we move like that today? We don't move like that as a people today. This group of people said, you will remain here. If I stay in this congregation way too long after I get done talking, Mom, I'm going to get some taps on my shoulder. I'm ready to go. This is that. Yes, sir.
Moray, I thought this would be a good place to interject. When you said that they moved back earlier in Bamidbar, it showed how the children of Israel camped around the tabernacle, and in the order that they camped around the tabernacle is the same order that they brought their offerings.
Thank you.
And I didn't know if you had meant to mention that, but I just wanted. So I just wanted to say that the Most High is always about order.
No. What the Moray, this is why I said my Morays are on point in here, Jack. The order at which, first day, first month, Moshe erects the tabernacle. He receives all the offerings. The first day, Yehuda is bringing their offering. There's Issachar, Zebulun, Reuben, Simeon, Gad. They all have their day in their particular order. And what the Moray's getting at, it's like you're saying, when they were, what? Moving. They moved in that same order. Okay? So these camps are coming out in the same fashion. Okay? Beautiful point. Beautiful point. All right. Yes, sir.
The question is there and I'm pretty sure there is, but I can't see it right now, but is there like a practical application of this particular passage for us today, particularly with the cloud? You know, when the cloud moved, the people move, and when the cloud stopped, the people stop. What's the application for today?
Now, I'm not going to answer that. I'm gonna let that man in the back answer that. This, you know, when you coming down the basketball court, you got the best person that's open to shoot.
You pass it.
I'm gonna pass to my shooter over here. He wide open in the corner. Moray, please.
In Hebrew Israel, since we are in exile, the one thing that we did in Christianity was always try to find some spiritual value to attach to something that's going on. All this shows us is that the Most High has set up a practical, concise way for Israel to move, one. And the second one is for them to be able to recognize his presence. As an individual and as a group of people in this building, we recognize the Most High's presence by the energy that we feel when we're here. Do you feel energy? Is there a different energy here that you feel when we're collectively together as opposed when we're separately in our homes? So we feel this energy. There's an energy when we come. There's no cloud, but there is an energy that we feel, and there's a joy of presence that we feel when we come together and gather. But we don't have to apply some spirit. We don't have to spiritualize things that are there that the Most High has given Israel in the wilderness for their time of what they're doing. Make sense? That's my answer.
Excellent. Excellent. Because that's almost dovetailing into where I was getting ready to go with this particular piece. Is that, you know, we are a people.
Oh, and the fire. And the fire. You know, when you spiritualize the fire, people want to make that the Father's anointing. Oh, we was on fire today. No. It's the same energy that you're feeling. It's the same presence that you're feeling. And it's the same excitement that you're feeling and what's taking place that the Most High happens to be bringing upon you as Moray always said, the Most High manifest. He manifests himself, and he manifests itself in certain ways that you feel it. There may be times when the presence of the Most High is felt in a more weightier manner than others. And you feel that.
Right. I'm going to piggyback on the back end of that. I can give you, in my personal estimation, a present day example of this, moving with the Most High. I've come to understand that the Most High resides in this congregation. The testimony of this congregation is the example of that. When the cloud told us to go ahead and move off of Sunday worship and get on the Shabbat, we moved with the cloud. When the cloud told us to go over here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start studying these Hebraic terms and these Hebraic letters and learn how to speak the language and all this other kinds of stuff, get our Ashkenazian on, we moved with the cloud. When the cloud lifted and said, you got to ditch all that, we're going to move to this area where we're going to have to deal with this JC character. And we're going to keep you there till you deal with it. Once the cloud lifted and we were right at the precipice of where we're at right now, which I think is at the promised land, where we want to be with the Most High. We're observing the mitzvos and trying to act like a community. That's the journey. He didn't just transport us there, but you got to have leadership in place that says, I see that the cloud is moving. It's time for us to go and be courageous enough to walk in it. So I'm giving you a present day example of that, and that's this house.
Well, let's piggyback on that a little more. Let's take that. In 1994, we rested at the Clarion Hotel on 8th Street. The cloud lifted. We rested at 1908 O Street, 5 years. We rested. The cloud lifted. We went to 801 Broadway. We were there for too long. The cloud lifted and we didn't move, and we paid the penalty for it. It moved us back to the Clarion Hotel. The cloud lifted and moved us to 3604 Stockton Boulevard. We were there 7 years. In the 8th year, in the beginning of the 8th year, the cloud lifted and put us here. And we're resting. And the cloud is still there. And we're not moving.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
So now here's how we define that cloud. Let's define that cloud now. From your example, from my example, let's define that cloud. That cloud is the Spirit of the Most High giving First Tabernacle Fellowship direction of when to act, when to move, when to stay, and what to do. And I'm happy to say we hit it every time but one.
Hallelujah.
And that one time that we missed it, that we didn't move when he told us to move, he forced us to move.
Listen.
What did he do? He sent a flood.
Right. Right.
No. He sent a flood. He flooded out the whole building.
But see, you know what? Go back to what I had said earlier. The destination I want to know the destination. The destination is what? It's your motto. Truth matters. Most High, tell me your truth. What is true about you? What is true about your people? What is true about your word? I want to know that. That's the goal. That's the destination. No problem. Let me walk you through it. Okay? Because after I come through it, I have a testimony that will be able to help somebody that's still out there trying to find their way to the Most High. If I just transported there, I wouldn't. Okay, I never really dealt with that situation before. I become an ineffective person operating for the kingdom. So what you're going to end up doing is getting yourself to a point where you have efficacy within the Most High. You're efficient. Yes. Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Shabbat Shalom, family. It's
Shabbat
so
Shalom.
good to be here today and hear this beautiful message. And I just wanted to say also that the cloud also moved on us individually as well to bring us to where we are right now.
Absolutely.
So I'm thankful for that.
And matter of fact,
Hallelujah.
that's beautiful. I'm glad that you drew in the individual element, because when the Most High is telling you, hey, it's time to go, we need to leave this issue of this JC character, or if you're not ready for that, at least start asking the questions. When are you going to stop making me your best kept secret? I never want to have the Most High be my best kept secret, something I'll never tell you about. No, the Most High is mine. It's not yours. You can't have it. No. I want to share this with anybody. I got people, family members. Oh, listen, we talked about it. I'm going off on a rabbit trail. I wish I would have added to this podcast this week. We talked about watering a seed. Can I have a sidebar real quick? Can I take okay, let me take a side quest. That's what my kids call it. We talked about watering a seed. So I'm out there talking to somebody. They're J.C. Strong, okay? I could be watering a seed. And that seed needs something, right? We're either planting seeds in people or we're watering. Are we all in agreement on that? We're either planting or we're watering. That's what we should be doing. Any of you here horticulturists? Now let me ask you a question. Can you just plant the seed and walk away from it? No. You have to make sure that seed is in fertilized soil. You might even go so far as to check the pH balance or the acidity in the soil for that particular species. That plant has to have a watering schedule. That plant has to say, okay, where is the best place to position this plant? Is early morning sun good for this plant? And late afternoon sun? I need to know all these things in order to help that plant grow. So if I'm planting a seed of the Most High in somebody, why would I expect to be able to plant a seed and walk away from it? What am I doing to help cultivate that seed and make that seed grow? What is the best possible thing for that seed? Now, the question is, how do I do that? How do I water a seed? I'm going to tell you something. This is what I end up doing. We all gathered over at Claudia's house for dinner. Several people are there. We have maybe, let me set the stage for you, a group of 8, 10 people there. Sean, can you pray? No problem. Most High Eye Ashe Eye, the one who has created all things in 6 days, who's provided us food for us to eat by your word, that we are to examine our food to make sure that whatever is in that food is in line with your text that you've outlined in Vayikra or Leviticus chapter number, so on and so forth. I'm speaking like a Hebrew, acknowledging the Most High. I'm not having a conversation with you. I'm watering the seed. My lifestyle waters the seed. When I go somewhere and people ask me, why don't you eat meat? Or why don't you eat this kind of particular way? Or why do you do that? That's because the Most High asks me, quit making the Most High your best kept secret. Put the Most High out there. That's how you water the seed with somebody. You don't have to have a physical conversation going back and forth. Your lifestyle should project something different about you that makes someone inquisitive to say, okay, let me ask. And then you can open up the door to water the seed or not and get in and get out. Okay? So, we either are in planting or watering. All right. Why did I wind up there? We got on a podcast. We in the cloud. You know what? I'm staying with the cloud. Thank you. Even on stage right now, stay with the cloud, Sean. Come on, we're moving.
Here's the interesting point of your example. Mm-hmm. We happen to be the good soil.
There you go. A place where you can come, ask your questions, safely go through whatever you need to go through. Good soil will give you the honest answer. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know everything. I don't profess to know everything. I am a human being just like you are. I can make mistakes. That is why we all go to the source and get it from there. And then we can deduce how to move forward. Okay? All right. I'm going to move with the cloud. Is that all right? Let's get back in the text. Okay. I think I'm somewhere around 18. I think that's where I am. Okay, 18. It says, at the order of Eye Asher Eye, I'm in chapter 9 of Bad Midbar, verse number 18. At the order of Eye Asher Eye, the people of Israel traveled. At the order of Eye Asher Eye, they camped. And as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle, they stayed in camp. Even when the cloud remained on the tabernacle for a long time, the people of Israel did what Yahweh had charged them to do and did not travel. Sometimes the cloud was a few days over the tabernacle. Man, I'm going to tell you, see how this parallel is running? Even in, I'm gonna have you move on this for a couple of days because you're going to be there for a short while. Be ready to move again. So here's the thing. There's always a sense of readiness to look for what's going on. How I move always has its end result and looking at where the Most High has me going. So I can't be lackadaisical. I have to be vigilant to be looking for what the Most High is wanting me to do. Okay? So I can move when the cloud moves. So I have to be paying attention to what's going on.
Can I interrupt you once again?
Sure.
With that particular statement, the cloud's going to be there a few days. Mm-hmm. I want you all to wrap your head around the fact that every time the cloud moved and Israel had to move, they had to break down everything that was there, pack it up, and move. And when they got to the other place, they had to reestablish it, set it back up. So my point in interrupting you, you have to recognize the exact specificity that the Most High has set up with them in the beginning, so that every time they moved, they knew exactly what to do, how to do it, so there was no delay in making the move.
100%. Their focus has always got to be
so
on
where's
the Most High.
Gershon? Where's Marriott? Where's so-and-so? We got there was none of that.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody knew what their assignment was.
You got to a specific
A few days.
Yeah.
I mean, and you and I hate moving. We move into a house and hate like heck to move, have to move out. Gotta move again? You hate it.
100%.
These people, this text said a few days. Wow, that's something to think about. The order.
Sometimes, more than on one occasion, the cloud was a few days over the tabernacle. According to Yahweh's order, they remained in camp. And according to Yahweh's orders, they traveled. Sometimes the cloud was there only from evening until morning. See, she said, we just got here. I didn't even have a chance to use the bathroom. You know? Yes, sir. She's got the.
This is amazing. I've never heard a teaching like this and having the explanations and everything. This is amazing, and it's exciting, and the light bulb is going off, and it's just bringing questions. Like one question: why would the Most High keep moving the people over and over? Why? Is it training? Is it creating discipline?
That's what I would have
said.
said.
Preparation to do that over and over and over. And as the Morey just said, when it comes to us even just moving from our house, we're like, oh man, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what? What I would first of all, thank you for the compliment. I give all praise to the Most High. Like I said, what did I say when I opened up today? I said, listen, I'm here just like y'all. I'm waiting to hear what the Most High is getting ready to say. I got a script to follow, but at any rate, the issue of, for me, how many of y'all have been in the military? Any military folks? How many of y'all seen the military on TV? How many of y'all know what a military is? Okay.
Military brats.
One of the things, I've never been in the military, but one of the things I see on TV is they may be able to be sleeping through the night. Boom, 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 shots go firing off. They out the bed, they got to pack their gear, get ready, assemble themselves, get ready in formation to go out to war. We've got to go fight. maybe one aspect of it is okay, I'm putting you through training because somebody may want to attack you while you in the middle of the night while y'all sleeping. And when it's time to get up and get ready to go, we got to get ready to go. I don't want you lackadaisical. But again, for me, the spiritual portion of that is I'm always looking and I'm listening to what the Most High is doing and saying, period. Whatever form that comes in. You know? So, to speak to your first point, I got to take this side quest. Anytime that we read text, this is just personal for me. Anytime that either I read text or read it out loud to you, it should be to educate, give a spiritual connection, right? And lead you to truth. It's educating, giving you a spiritual connection back to the Most High, and guiding you into truth. All three of those things.
This is all about discipline.
Yes. Being able to move.
Israel, when we read this and we see this, we're beginning to understand how disciplined the nation of Hebrew Israel was as a people under the direction of the Most High, their general.
100%.
And with that discipline that you're showing, that he's showing, now you're messing me up again.
Mm-hmm.
With the discipline that we're seeing here as we read through this, we as a congregation of people should also be striving for discipline. In everything we do, we should be striving for excellence and discipline, because that's what we're reading about, and that's what we're seeing that the Most High is doing with his people. He's providing them with discipline and excellence, because he's disciplined and he's excellent, and he's asked us to be set apart like he's set apart.
100%.
And we have been remiss in that particular area. We're not disciplined. We lack discipline.
100%.
Your leader to the fore. That's what you're. That's what
I'm
you're,
right behind you.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not hearing. You're not hearing really. Oh, well, maybe I will. Well, I'll get there when I get there. Well, they ain't gonna start without me. Yeah, it don't matter. But discipline. Yes. The Father's people are disciplined.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So
I shut up.
this is beautiful. Y'all don't believe me when I said that there's an energy leading up to Yom Teruah, which is that issue of trying to be better. Do you see where we are in text? You see with the things that we're pulling out, because we're in this season of doing better. So what we're reflecting, it's almost what the Most High is reflecting back to us out of the text is how these people are doing better. Leading up to this next, man, this feast is going to be powerful when we get there. Okay. I see the cloud moving again. Come on. 21. Let's go back there. It says, sometimes the cloud was there only from evening until morning, so that when the cloud was taken up in the morning, they traveled. Or even if it continued up both day and night, when the cloud was up, they traveled. Whether it was 2 days, a month, a year, a year that the cloud remained over the tabernacle, staying on it, the people of Israel remained in camp and did not travel. But as soon as it was taken up, they traveled. 23. At Yahweh's order, they camped, and at Yahweh's order, they traveled. At the order of the Most High, I move. At the order of the Most High, I stop. It's not, think about that. We're traveling to our next destination. It ain't no, we just going to rest here because we just feel like it. This is a great spot. Why don't we? No. We're not done yet. This is where we got to go. Okay? 23. Again, at Yahwehs Exiled order, they camped, and at Yahwehs Exiled order, they traveled. They did what Yahwehs Exiled had charged them to do through Moshe. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when it says through our Moshe, does that mean through our leader or leaders?
Yes. In some instances, yes. From a communal standpoint, yes. From an individual standpoint, there's a connection there. I believe as well, like we talked about earlier, that, hey, you know, when the Most High needs me to move away from this particular issue, I'm going to keep hearing about this issue. He's going to keep reminding me of it over and over again through little things. Like, why do I keep hearing all this stuff about Yahweh all of a sudden? Bing, 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 bing. Maybe I should go and investigate that. Instead of just saying, you know what, we talked about it this week in the podcast about trepidation. Why am I so scared to accept the Most High? But we act in wisdom when we get around people, read and react, use the wisdom that you have in order to get them to where they need to be. Okay? I have a problem with that because I tend to beat people up with text all the time. Where does it say in the text that he's the firstborn? Where is it at? Point it to me. Sound like one of them folk on the street corner. Never mind. Chapter number 10. Okay. Y'all good? Are y'all drinking from the fire hose? Do we need to rest? The cloud need to rest. Are we going to keep the cloud moving?
We're good.
Okay, we're going to keep the cloud moving. All right, chapter number 10. If you're in your car, if it's a modern car, has a little light that goes off that says, I need some gas, right? You have or, matter of fact, here's a better example. When I get in my vehicle, until I put my seat belt on, that thing's going to go boom, 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 and drive me up a wall, okay? What is that sound doing? Warning me, bringing my attention to something. I don't have enough gas. You don't have your seatbelt on, okay? It's bringing your attention to something, all right? So, how do I know when it's time to move? We're going to talk about the shofar, these trumpets that were made, okay? Chapter number 10, Bad Midbar. Want to hear it? Here it go. Some of y'all in here too young. No, I'm saying. Yahweh said to Moshe, make how many? 3. 1, 2 trumpets, and make them of what? Hammered silver. Use them. We're going to go all the way to verse 10. Verse 10. All right? We're going to go all the way through it. Use them for summoning the community and for sounding the call to break camp and move on. We clear? When they are sounded, the entire community is to assemble before you at the entrance to the tent of meeting. When these things are sounded, the community is going to come out and meet Moshe. If only one is sounded, then just the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, are to assemble before you. Okay? 5. When you sound an alarm, the camps to the east will commence traveling. Here we go. There's that order again. should say something different. I copied that wrong. When you sound the second alarm, the camps to the south will set out. They will sound the alarms to announce when to travel. It's in Bamidbar chapter number 2, that sequence, or Numbers chapter 2, that sequence. However, when the community is to be assembled, you are to sound, but don't sound an alarm. It will be the sons of Aharon, the Kohanim, who are to sound the trumpets. This will be a permanent regulation for you through all your generations. So what have we accomplished here thus far? 2 silver trumpets are made. They're made from hammered silver, right? They are used in the first sentence there, back up in verse number 2, for summoning the community and sounding the call to break camp and move on. All right? So we've gotten that far. When one is sounded, the leaders assemble, right? There's another sound that comes out for the Kohanim to assemble. So there are different alarms that are sounded on these trumpets in conjunction with moving and stopping. Okay? Are we that clear? So let's categorize this. What we've covered this far is these 2 trumpets are used for starting and stopping movement and to summon different groups of Hebrew Israel. We clear? Let's continue on what else they do. Verse number 9. When you go to war in your land against an adversary who is oppressing you, you are to sound an alarm with the trumpets. So let's add that to the list. Starting and stopping, right? We just said that. What else do we got? To war. What else do we got? To summon groups of people to assemble. 3 criteria we've covered. Let's keep going. Verse number 10. Also, on your days of rejoicing, at your designated times, and Rosh Chodesh, at your days of rejoicing, at your appointed times or designated times. What are those? Yom Terumah, Pesach, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. Those are your appointed times. And don't forget about Rosh Chodesh, the new month. So let's categorize what these trumpets are going to do. Number 1, what do we say? Starting and stopping movement. Number 2, heralding certain groups of people to meet with Moshe. Number 3, going to war. Number 4, your appointed times. That's verses 1 through 10. That's what these 2 trumpets do. Now, verse 11. On the 20th day of the 2nd month of the 2nd year. You got that in your head. On the 20th day of the 2nd month of the 2nd year, the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle of the testimony. Right? And the people of Israel moved out in stages from the Sinai desert. The cloud stopped at Paran desert. So they set out on their very first Dora the Explorer, Diego the Explorer, Indiana Jones adventure. We going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, flying through the sky. Little Einsteins, let's go, all right? So we're moving. Y'all old heads, y'all don't have them kids that watch them stories. I see that. So they set out on their first journey in keeping with Asher's order through Moshe. In the lead was the banner of the camp of the descendant of Yehuda. Right? Yehuda was first. And the descendants of Yehuda, whose companies moved forward, over his company was Nachshon, the son of Avinadav. You can find in Bad Midbar, chapter number 1, verse 7. Over the company of the tribe of the descendants of Yissachar was Natiel, the son of Zeuar. Over the company of the descendants of Zebulun was Eliav, the son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the descendants of Gershom and the descendants of Merari set out carrying the tabernacle. Now, this is going over what we've already done before. You've learned about this in chapter number 2 of Bad Midbar, of how they're assembled around the tabernacle. Now, this is real experiential, boots on the ground, their first move as this assembled group, and how they moved out. That's what these next chapters or these next verses are going to cover. I think all the way to the end. We'll get into something you may have heard before. But let's go straight through. 18. Next, the banner of Ruvain moved forward by companies. Over his company was Elitzur, the son of Shedeur, in Bad Midbar 1 and 5. Over that company of the tribe of the descendants of Shimon was Shelemiel, the son of, Zerish Shaddai. Bad Midbar 1 and 6. It says, over the company of the descendants of Gad was Elisaph, the son of Deuel. The descendants of Kahat set out carrying the sanctuary so that at the next camp, the tabernacle could be set up before they arrived. The banner, it wasn't we got there, we set up camp, and then, I got to muscle my way through. The Most High was there before they got wherever they went. The descendants of Kahat set out carrying the sanctuary so that the tabernacle could be set up before they arrived. The banner of the camp of the descendants of Ephraim moved forward by companies. Over his camp was Elishama, the son of Amihud. Over the company of the tribe of the descendants of Manasseh was Gileal, the son of Pedatsur. Over the company of the descendants of Benjamin was Avidan, the son of Gideon. The banner of the camp of the descendants of Dan, forming the rear guard for the camps, moved forward by companies. Over his company was Achihezer, the son of Ammishaddai. Over the company of that tribe with the descendants of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Okran, over the company of the descendants of Naphtali was Achariah, the son of Enan. 28. This is how the people of Israel's travel by companies. Thus they moved forward. Okay. Got that. We got through that. We good. Moshe said to Hovav, I wrote it in there. I gave you the answer. It's in red. He's who? He's Moshe's brother-in-law. So what is he? If already you know that he's Moshe's brother-in-law, who's Moshe married to? Who is he married to? Zipporah. What is she? She's a Midianite, right? So that makes this guy a Midianite, right? He is not a part of Hebrew Israel. He is what they would say a foreigner. Okay? Now he's traveling with Hebrew Israel. He's one of the company of Hebrew Israel. All of the things, the mitzvot that are for the foreigner and for Hebrew Israel, this person still has to do. Okay? Those haven't been relieved from him. But he's the brother-in-law of Moshe, the son of Rittiel, the Midian. Moshe's father-in-law. We are traveling to the place about which Asher said. Where is that? So he's having this conversation with his brother-in-law. He says, hey, we're on the road traveling to where the Most High wants to put his people. Right? Says, I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will treat you well. Because Asher has promised good things to Israel. I think that we used to say that in the old church. Come with us because we'll do you well. Things will go well with you. This is, in essence, what's happening here. Where you're pulling that from is from a text that talks about, if you're pulling it from there, Moshe is having a discussion with his brother-in-law saying, okay, stay with Hebrew Israel. We're going to be good to you. But we need something. I need you to do something for me. We're going to get into that. But he replied, I will not go. I would rather go back to my own country and my own kinsmen. Moshe continued. I gave you the answer before we got there. Sorry. Please don't leave us behind because you know we have a camp in the desert. And you can serve as our eyes. If you do go with us, then whatever good Eya Asher Eya does for us, we will do the same for you. So what is he asking him to do? Be a spy. Go out. See what's going on. Dope. That is just a dope move by Moshe. Why? Yes and no in one sense. Listen. This is Moshe in my mind's eye being. This is not what the text says. I'm standing on me now. I'm standing on me. Okay? Got to preface that with y'all here. Where's that say that in the text? You want no receipt for that? Strategic move by Moshe. I'm going to send this Midianite out. I'm a Midianite. I'm not Hebrew Israel. I know them. I'm with them. But I can go reconnaissance land and go kind of undetected. As a strategic move. I don't have like a Hebrew out there. Now, that's going to change a little bit when we get to the 12 spies that actually when we get to the land, okay? There's going to be some interesting things that we brought up about that. But this individual was used by Moshe to be a spy for Hebrew Israel. All right. Verse 33, and then we done. All the way to the end, I should say. So they set out from Eya Asher Eya's mountain and traveled for 3 days. Ahead of them on this 3-day journey went the ark of Eya Asher Eya's covenant, searching for a new place to stop. The cloud of Eya Asher Eya was over them during the day as they set out from the camp. I'm going to give you some shade while we're walking out here. When the ark moved forward, we used to do this. Anytime we at one time, you may not believe this or not, but we were very Ashkenazian at one time. Do you know what I mean about when I say we were Ashkenazian?
Nope.
Okay. Your typical Jewish people wearing the prayer shawls, doing all the ritual kind of stuff that they do. What we would do, where is this at? We would take this and we would, at some point in our liturgy, someone would carry it around and I would go to you and everybody would kiss the Torah. That's something that Ashkenazis do. It's a ritual thing that they do, okay? When we did this, we said something. We said this piece that's here in Bamidbar, chapter number 10, verse 35. We said, arise, Eya Asher Eya. May your enemies be scattered. Let those who hate you flee before you. When it stopped, he said, return, Eya Asher Eya, of the many, many thousands of Israel. We would say that as a part of that liturgy when we went around. Arise, O Israel, Yahweh go out before you and let your enemies be scattered. And then we'd pass this around through the congregation, right? For those of us that can remember when we were back in that, when the Most High had us in a point where the cloud was in a spot and we had to move off and go to something else, he said, you need to leave that Ashkenazi and stuff behind. That ain't got nothing to do with anything that's over here. This is not the goal for that. You need to drop that. Okay? What did I say? Did I tell you to do that? To make a little mini Torah? And when you assemble on the Shabbat and pass it around and have folk kiss it? Is that part of the liturgy? No. You may think of it as a way of honoring. That's fine. But let's bifurcate between the two. Between what the Most High said to do versus how you want to observe it and show homage. Okay? Those are two different things. Now, why paying homage might give, some connection, emotional connection to it, I have to go off of what the Most High said I'm supposed to do on the Shabbat, which is what? Not work, rest. Don't do anything ordinary. We just had in our mores meeting about buying and selling, all those types of things. I'm probably sure you're going to ask me a question about that maybe later on, but that's okay. All right? What is in text? So, why am I saying this? Why am I getting off on a rabbit trail? I don't know. I'm already done. I'm at the end. But anytime that the ark moved or the people moved, this was recited. That's all I'm telling you. So if we're going to put this in its proper context, that's when it was used and what it was used for. Okay? I have reached the end
I want to go
of
back to
chapter number
something.
10.
I want to go back to something that we talked about earlier. I want to go back to the trumpets.
Yeah, go ahead.
The text in 10 gives us clarification as to when the silver trumpets are to be blown. However, in Vayikra 23 and 23 through 24, it's specific that designates that on that particular day is the blast of the shofar, not the silver trumpets.
Not the silver trumpets. I can go along with that. You bring it to herald in the time, and if there's specific things like on Sukkot or any other multiple day
Now-
feast,
Now,
yeah, I can go along with that. Yeah, absolutely.
I could blow the silver trumpet to gather Israel, to summon her to gather, to assemble. I could blow it on that day to do that. But on that day, it is specific to the blowing of the shofar.
Right. 100%.
So
100%.
just a little clarification.
Yes,
And we have 2 silver trumpets coming.
sir. So we'll have them from Yotel Roman. Excellent. Yes, sir. That kumbaya? Kumaya. Whoa. Hold on. No. Hold on. I want you to say that on the microphone. They need to hear that coming from you. You're saying it very eloquently. We got a microphone on over here we can give him? One more time, please. From the top.
In verse 35, our moray, our head teacher, talks about it all the time, how our ancestors in the bottom of slave ships is where one of the things they got that from, when we saying kumbaya. And we was crying out to the Most High to rescue us. And we think that it's, in this, they have turned the tides on us, and we think that it's a song of getting along and a song of can we all just, be brothers and sisters, but it's actually a song of war. And it's a Kuma Yahweh Weyafutsu Oyeveka, rise up, Yah, and
Let your enemies.
let your enemies be scattered. Pretty much your enemies are my enemies. So, it's not a song of togetherness. It's actually it's a war cry and a deliverance cry.
Wow. Icing and cherry on top. My goodness. That brings in so much perspective on that whole entire thing. If we're in those slave ships and they're saying that war song to say, Most High, even in my distress on where we are right now, have our enemies defeated. Go out before us. So that changes the perspective of this people saying, okay, they're suffering, but even in their suffering, They're crying out to the Most High within song. Wow. Wow. Wow.
In the Hebrew scroll,
Should have had you teach today. You did a good. Thank you.
in the Hebrew scroll, in the Hebrew writing, this particular portion here at verse 35 through 36 is separated by two inverted noons. If you look at the scroll, you know, a noon faces outward. In the Hebrew scroll, it's inverted. And it's inverted and it's separated to show that this particular portion of writing represents a separate book all by itself inside of Bamidbar. If we take Bamidbar, we take this and Numbers and Deuteronomy, we'll add up to what the Psalms refers to as the 7 pillars of wisdom. So we've always talked about Torah being 5. Actually, there are 7 pillars of wisdom that make up Torah. This particular one in here constitutes a book inside of Bamidbar. When we add them all up, we'll have 7 pillars.
There's a concept that, let me go back for some newbies that might not be wondering just a little bit deeper to stand on his shoulders. When he's talking about these inverted noons, so there are, as around the room, there are Hebraic letters. Throughout the scroll, there are some letters that are stigmatized, meaning they're larger or they could be smaller. There are portions of text where they're inverted, but they're precursors to give you an understanding of something else is there that I need you to take a look at. It has like a double meaning that's in there. And that's self-apparent when you go ahead and you read like a scroll, it has that on there, okay? So what he's talking about is this portion of text where these inverted noons show up, like they're written in a weird way to say, okay, there's something here that you want me to pay attention to, and that's what we call stigmatized letters. There's one in the beginning. It's an enlarged bet when you look at the scroll. And I'm glad, you know what? I should say this. He brought up something that I need to do better on in my age of excellence, trying to be better. He brought in the issue of when I need to go into the Hebrew text and when stuff like that happens and shows up, compare it with the Aramaic and have that component and bring that in there too. I think that there's going to be some things that are we can glean from that. Because how many of you know that there's power in a name? Okay. There's a power in a name. When you are looking at the name of the Most High, which is getting back to where I'm getting ready to go, in this way, they are to put my name on the people of Israel. When you look at I want you to imagine in your mind. I'm doing this for a reason. Just imagine in your mind a white sheet of paper. You write down JC's name on one side of the paper, and you write the name of the Most High on the other side of the paper. When you look at the name of the Most High, when you see the name of the Most High, you should see everything about the Most High. It's in the name. The name shows you compassion. The name shows you long suffering. The name shows you your pride, your heritage. This is who you serve. That when you see the name of the Most High, that depth of what that is comes out. If you saw my name on a sheet of paper, you would say, okay, I see the person, and then I see who he is. So there's power in that particular name. When I see it, I understand what kind of gravity that name holds because I've studied that name. I've studied what that name is about. Okay? So it's not just when you're reading stuff, there's power in text. And when I go through and look at it, I can say, okay, that particular Hebrew word means this, which means to this particular issue that can bring more out of the text if I'm bringing the portion of the text portion out of it. Because unlike English, the word just means the word. In other languages, you have a word being written, and it has a whole entire sentence that you can put. Your Moray did one for you in the back. So when he broke out all the names, and he said, this is a combination of these two, which means this. We don't have that in English. Cat just means cat. Dog just means dog. If I have a Hebraic word, I think I learned this from my professora. There's a meaning behind saying something. So language does bring a part of it. And you know what? Thank you. You convicted me right on the spot. Not that you think that you did that, but well, I'm going to start bringing that out so we can actually start looking at the Aramaic and start looking at the Hebrew and digging into the power that's actually there.
If you look on that wall over there where the black banner is.
Where it says our Pesach.
Yeah, Pesach. That right there is a noon. Mm-hmm. It's correctly written. In this passage that I'm talking about, that noon is reversed and it's facing the other way. It's facing toward the back wall. It's inverted. Those are what are called stigmatized, part of the stigmatized letters. When you open the book of Bereshit, the first thing you're going to see is a stigmatized letter. You're going to see a large bet there. When you see these stigmatized letters like that, they have meaning and significance to something that's going on. It's kind of like reading the Psalms and you see Selah. When you see a stigmatized letter in the Hebrew scroll, you have to stop, look at it, and try to understand exactly what's going on. There's also in the passage of where Jacob comes back in and meets his brother, and his brother falls upon his shoulder to kiss him. In the Hebrew scroll on that particular word, there are 6 jots that are up over that. So now, when you're reading in the Bible, which is different than the scriptures, in Matthew 5:17, the Most High says, I have not come to abolish but to profane. And until one jot or tittle passes away. So the jots and tittles are connected to the Hebraic words that have brought everything into existence. So he tells you there, until not one jot and tittle passes away, it's the law that he's given going to change. So he's telling you, I didn't come to move it, I didn't come to change it until these disappear. So now you have to ask yourself a question. If the Father's language that he has brought everything into existence changes, then you have to ask yourself a question. If that happens, why am I here? Because I have been formed and made by those same words. I am the substance of the words that have come out of the Most High's mouth. Let us make man. Words, power, implementation. If all that goes away, let me put it to you in this reference. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got an app. You can delete an app, right? It goes away. If jots and tittles of the Most High's word changes and goes away, everything goes dark. Everything goes dark. Everything goes dark. You don't exist. The heavens don't exist. The earth doesn't exist. And everything therein goes dark. That's the significance of the Hebrew letters.
100%.
It is one other thing.
By all means.
When the Most High spoke to Moshe about building the tabernacle, he showed him that prototype and gave him exactly what it looked like. He said, I have instilled in Bezalel the wisdom and knowledge of how to do all that. The wisdom and knowledge to do all that is centered in the alphabet and the words that the Most High has spoken, because that's part of creation. Bezalel, out of the understanding of how the alphabet and the words that the Most High has given us work, was able to do the impossible. Because you have to ask yourself a question. How do you take 66 pounds of gold and make a menorah and never cut it?
And not only that, it's a functioning piece of equipment that has oil that has to run through it.
How
For
do
that
you
thing to light.
how do you make it so it has channels where you pour oil through it and it goes through all the channels of the oil, but you never put a drill in it? How do you make the leaves that'll make it so decorative and so pretty and never put a torch to it to melt it down to do anything with it? How do you do that? How did the Most High speak and bring Tov out of chaos? How does this young man know how to do all of this artistry, and he's given a command? Don't put a hammer to it. Don't melt it. Don't cut it. The only way he can do that is by understanding the creative work of the Most High through the essence of what those letters do. Those letters are actually something that's very, very powerful. Understanding them is more powerful, and everybody doesn't have that understanding. I'm just once again, this young man is helping us to take time to understand the uniqueness of the Creator and the uniqueness of how the Creator wants to function with his people. There's nothing that's left to second guess. Moshe did not build the tabernacle. Moshe put the tabernacle together that Bezalel built.
Correct.
And he never had to go back and ask BTL to fix anything because it didn't fit. Now, you asked a question.
Whoa. Before you do that, you got to realize I'm a contractor. You work with wood too sometimes. When I'm over there, oh man, you know what? That's a 2x4. It don't mean nothing at the end of the day. We talking about materials that went into the tabernacle that equated to how much did we say? Somewhere around $156 million worth of material.
Yes.
Went into this place.
Yes.
So it's not like some willy-nilly thing
No.
you've been entrusted with.
No.
Let me give you $156 million and say, you said you may not see him again. You're right.
Now, Brother Mac, I'm going to answer a question that you asked earlier about the cloud. The Mishkan is indicative of something that is uniquely made. Every piece of it is exact and fits the way it's supposed to fit. It is a building that is fitly joined together. Now I'm taking something out of across the street because they've taken it, but that is something that's fitly joined together. It is the tabernacle. Don't you know? I'm coming across the street again. I got to go there because it fits. It works. It's true. That this right here is the tabernacle of the Most High. So let's go to the closing of, was it Psalms or is it closing of Proverbs? That you and I are a body that's uniquely made. Every part of your body is made to function a specific kind of way, and everything in your body is where it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be, functions the way it's supposed to be, and nothing is out of line. You and I are made just like that. Our bodies are the tabernacle in which that the Ruach resides and which it lives and which it and which it expresses itself through. It has to be. It has to be clean. I don't dwell in that which is not clean, which is the reason why we've got all these mitzvot about clean. Be clean. I don't dwell in that which is not clean. My mind, my thoughts, my actions. I can't be halting between two opinions. I can't be doing the jig. It's yah or it was ball or I love the Father. No, you don't. You're not clean. You can't be clean and be conflicted with a house full of roaches. The only reason why roaches live in your house is because it's unclean. The only reason idolatry lives in your house is because you're unclean. And I'm not dwelling there. I'm not living there. Just because you get a hitch-a-macoo and a hicka here and your hoo-hoo-ha-ha there doesn't mean that's me. I don't function that way. I don't act that way. I've given you and I've shown you precisely how I act, precisely how I function, and precisely how I deal with people that I call. You can't get up and speak for me. Yea, I know that you exactly. Yea, you said. That's not the Most High talking. The Most High speaks through himself and through his word, and he will give you a receipt for what he's saying. You're clean people. The tabernacle couldn't get built at the time it was supposed to be built because Israel was not clean. They just got through dealing with the golden calf. They couldn't build the tabernacle. You can't touch his set apart things with a dirty body and a dirty mind. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't live any kind of way and then show up on his day like you all that. No. What's been going on those other 6 days? Because those other 6 days probably got you dirty and unclean and you haven't dealt with it. That's why we have Yom Teruah. That's why we have it. We have it so that we can take time to do some reflecting on our person, on our being, on our existence. How am I really setting with the Most High? Do I know? Or am I hoping? No. This is not the Jesse Jackson movement. I'm not trying to keep hope alive. I'm trying to keep Torah alive in my person and in my being so that every day that I wake up, I can face the Most High and I know where I stand because I know if I'm clean and I know if I'm dirty. I know that. So that when I come together on his set-apart day, I know where I am. I don't come here, I don't walk through this day, well, Jesus. No. I come into this place with gladness. I come into it with joy. I can blow the silver trumpet because I'm in a state of joy. This is a day of joy. This is a joy of rejoicing. It's the Shabbat. And I'm good for it. I'm good with it. I'm clean with it. There's a difference. Exacting. Quality. We don't have a house full of people. I would rather have 5 people with quality than a house full messed up. And the last time the house was messed up, the Most High cleaned it himself. And I thank him for it. I thank the Most High that he sees me and he loves me enough to say, More, your house is dirty. I'm sending in the cleaners. Gotta go. You know what that took? Now you asked me about the cloud. When the Most High cleaned the house, I knew the cloud was here. I knew the fire was here. And he let me know in advance. And I told the people, the Most High is going to clean his house. Don't be surprised who goes. Not once, not twice, but several times. You that are sitting in those seats right now are here because the Most High has designated and said for you to be here. That's why you're here. You're not here, oh, yeah, I think I'll go down and see what First Tabernacle for. No. That might have been your thought. And you might not have understood that you were moving with a cloud. And when you got here, you rested. I'm getting to the point where I understand everybody can't be here. I'm getting there. I want the house to be full. But B, I'm getting to the point now where I'm resting, and I'm resting to the point where I look at you and I say, you're here because you're supposed to be here. Those that are not, either they're not supposed to be here or it's not their time yet. I'm going to quit. 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 I'm going to quit tugging. I'm going to quit tugging. I'm going to quit trying to pull. I'm going to stop that. Because if it's not a willing heart, then what's the point? Israel walked with the Most High in their inception from a point of willingness until it got too familiar with them. Well, so we got a cloud, so what? We got fire, so what? What's that guy back in the corner there doing? Oh, I think I want to be like him. I don't need you no more. Give us a king like them. Because we want to be like them. Oh, we see them. They go up on the mountain. They got a tree they worship. We want to be like that. We don't have that. We just got a cloud and some fire. We've been had that for a minute. Can we have something new? You following what I'm saying? I didn't come up here to say all this. But we have to realize who we are. And as I opened my dialogue earlier this morning about this road, we're going to make some pit stops still. Got to unload some stuff. We're going to have to get some direction from the Most High. I like the portion in the text where the people asked Moshe a question, and he said, let me go ask the boss. This is above my pay grade. Let me go ask the boss and see what he has to say. Get some direction for you. Moraz, Marine, whatever it is. That's where we have to be. We have to be at a place where if I don't have the answer, let me go inquire from the boss and let me get an answer. I'll come back to you. And let us not be so quick to always have to give an answer just because we think we know. Let's pause. Let me say, I'll get back to you. I may have it right now, but let me get back to you on this. Because I need to go talk to the boss. I mean, I know, but there may be some more wisdom that he wants to drop on me as I answer your question. We're Israel, you all. Do you realize who you are? You're Israel. And he's called us from far and near and from different places in life. Stop trying to second guess the Most High. You can't do it. Just do what he says. JC can't save you. JC can't heal you. JC can't pay your bills. JC can't answer your innermost thoughts and questions. He doesn't have an answer for you. The only one that has the answer is Most High.
How do you know, wait a minute, hold on. How you know that to be true? Out of his own mouth. What did he say? I can only do those things that my Father tells me to do.
And he missed it, and he missed it, and he missed it all along the way.
All along the way.
So here, you understand what I'm saying? I just rose to tell you what the good Lord has done for me. I just rose to tell you how Yahweh set me free. That's all I rose to say. May Yahweh bless you.
Shalom. Thank you. Listen, the Most High should inspire you, educate you, and give you a spiritual connection that's emotional. And that's what we're witnessing. We're sharing. It's a safe place to do that. You going to say something, ma'am?
Yes, I do. Going back on what our beautiful Moray just said, it also said over there, why callest thou me good when there is no good in me?
But the only
one that's good is the Father.
Is the Most High.
He can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing. Woo! Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. I want to do something before I get ready to go. I want to introduce what we're going to get ready to go over next week. I want to wet your whistle a little bit, okay? Chapter 9 and 10 we just went over. We're going to do 11 and 12 next week. Now, in 11, what do you think? Now, I'm going to look at you, Brother Jesse, because this is going to be indicative. You've experienced this. I know you have with this group. Chapter 11, Hebrew Israel starts doing something. What do you think they did? We don't have no food. I hate all this stuff. Why do we got to be in the desert so long? Why do my feet hurt? Why in the world is it so hot all the time? Why in the world are we in the desert? Most High, how come we can't get there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Somebody starts complaining. I know you ain't experienced complaining from black folk, have you? No. We got some complaining, sassy mouths on us. Okay? A bunch of complaining is going to happen next week. And I'm going to tell you what, we're going to see how the Most handles y'all's mouths. Okay? Because that ain't going to go unchecked from the Most High. How dare you? What? I just rescued you from Mitzrayim, You just saw 10 plagues. I got you out of slavery. I got you out of debt. I got you into this mansion, and you still complaining. You don't have enough. And then turn around and be like, I want to go after some other Elohim, which you've already cheated on me with the golden calf. That's in 11. Now, in 12, hopefully I can get a bunch of people to raise their hands on this too. Most of you have family, right? Okay. Have you ever experienced family talking about you? Talking down on your name? I got 2 hands in the back. This one brother got 2. No. Let me recalibrate the question. How many of y'all have actually had family members talk down on your name, tell you, spread lies, gossip, rumor, innuendo, flat out, boldface lies? We're going to get into this story about how Miriam and her brother, Aaron, start talking about the man of Yah. And it didn't bode well for him at all at the end of the day. They started talking about him behind his back. And it don't go well for him at all. That's 11 and 12 next week, okay? All right. One more thing before I go. Make sure, I'm going to do this. I want to make sure this is on camera, because if you knew this dear sister and what she has achieved, and knowing that her presence here today means so much to most people, make sure y'all Hebrews love on that dear sister in the back. Sister Gail, Shabbat Shalom to you. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Make sure you love on her, okay? If you know her story, being amongst the Most High's people is one of the things that she covets. She cherishes that community. So to see her here, knowing her story, love on her before y'all get out of here, all right? Okay. Gotta let you stand to your feet. Arianic benediction. We say this for Hebrew Israel, that says that the Most High recognizes who his people are. The Most High knows that these groups of people that has been set up in text exude this issue of following the mitzvot, obeying the Most High's teachings, and having the Hebraic lifestyle that has been ordained in text. From the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep, the moment you leave out of these 4 walls and you go out of here, you represent the Most High. You are an ambassador, an emissary of the Most High. The nations will look towards you. And this is the blessing we recite on all of you, so the Most High may have favor for you. In the Hebrew, it simply states, Yivareka ka Yahweh ve'yishmareka. Yair Yahweh panav ve'eneka. Yesa Yahweh panav eleka ve'asam laka shalom. Which simply means in English, may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you his favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards all of you and give you shalom. Wait a minute, one more. Verse 27 says this. It says, in this way, you are to put my name on the people of Israel so that I can bless them. West Coast Hebrews, until next time, shalom.